Hey guys, what's up? It's Mikexingchen. It's already the end of January 2017. Can you believe that? 2016 just flew by. I think this year is going to do pretty much the same. I haven't done one of these commenting on your comments in a while, so let's do one. This is the first one for 2017. Let's go ahead and jump into the video where we talked about the asteroid that almost missed Earth that no one knew about until basically it passed by Earth, thank goodness. This comment is from James Dickman. The best thing to do is get really good at yoga so you can bend over enough to kiss your butt goodbye. I picked this comment because I actually laughed out loud when I read it. It's pretty funny. I mean, just an image of somebody being able to do yoga, being able to be flexible enough to kiss their own behind. That mental image just kind of cracked me up. And yes, I kind of agree with this sentiment. I know there are a lot of solutions that we have in terms of if a big rock come hurtling towards us, what are we gonna do? I just feel like we're either not gonna catch it in time or whatever we fire at it is just not gonna be enough. So out of all the doomsday scenarios, I do feel like this is probably the most plausible and it is the most dangerous. Next up, Fire Powers says, what if we did get hit and we're living the afterlife? You know, I don't know when this started, but I started to kind of think about this scenario. Like sometimes I'm thinking, what if I'm already dead? What if I'm already dead and this is just what my version of, I don't know, hell or heaven or purgatory is. Also, I had this theory a while back, and just hear me out, I know it sounds a little bit crazy. What if we were some advanced, super sophisticated being, and to entertain ourselves, we play these games where we, I don't know, download ourselves into the lives of an individual. And this doesn't have to be like a super rich individual or a super powerful individual. It just has to be any individual, because the fun of the game is to kind of just randomly live some life. And when you download yourself into the game, you don't have any knowledge or memory of what it's like outside the game. And the only way out of the game is, of course, to live the life that you've chosen completely until the end. So I was just kind of imagining all these beings shopping in their version of the GameStop. They're picking up a version of, I don't know, Mikexingchen YouTuber or Jack Brown car salesman or Kim Kardashian plastic humanoid. That was your random crazy theory of the day. Next up, the Legend 27. I had a dream that an asteroid was about to hit Earth about 2 days ago. Now, a lot of comments, a lot of people wrote similar comments on the bottom of this video saying they actually had a dream about an asteroid hitting Earth. Is it just me, or I've never had a dream about an asteroid hitting Earth? Is this like a common dream people have? Because if this is not a very common dream, then I don't know, maybe a lot of people, you're kind of psychic. Next up, Almighty Heath 35 Goofy says, gotta train like One Punch Man. I agree, because if you think about it, that is the easiest way to destroy an asteroid, because all you need to do is every single day do 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and run a 10K. Next video, this is the one where we talked about a teenager who got kicked in the head during a soccer game, went into a coma for a couple days, woke up and was able to speak fluent Spanish despite not knowing much Spanish at all beforehand. Intensify says, someone kicked me in the head. I want to learn a new language. I mean, I wish I knew how that worked. I mean, if all you need is a good whack on the head to learn a different language, sign me up for that any day. Next up, Fruits Chimpo Samurai says, learning Japanese, throw themselves down the stairs, wakes up and speaks fluent Japanese. Or learn Japanese, throw themselves down the stairs, never wake up. Could go either way. Next up, this is the video about a possible ancient Asian Egyptian city hidden in the Grand Canyon. Chico was here says, I bet the Smithsonian is like the Indiana Jones movie where they have a secret chamber full of discoveries that they hide for no apparent reason. You know what? I bet somewhere in the world this exact thing exists. And if you walk in, you'll find the Ark of the Covenant, the Spear of Destiny, all the good stuff. I don't know, maybe I've been watching a little too much Warehouse 13. Whatever happened to that show, by the way? Did that thing, I mean, I stopped watching, I think, before the last season, but did that thing ever have a good conclusion? I like that show. Next up, Force Master 2000 says, this would explain why some areas of the Grand Canyon are off limits to the public. And this is really interesting because I knew parts of the Grand Canyon were off limits because they're on Native American lands. But what I didn't know was that that's not all the restricted areas. Some areas are actually restricted by the US government. And of course that could be because of safety, or it could be because there's a hidden ancient Egyptian city somewhere. Also, what's really interesting is that a lot of places inside the Grand Canyon have Egyptian or Hindu names, like Tower of Set, Tower of Ra. And according to researchers, this is because explorers really liked Hindu and Egyptian names. Really? So the explorers somehow went from naming things the Alligator, Badger Creek, the Battleship, to Temple of Ra, Temple of Isis. Also, most of the restricted area are on the north side of the canyon, where a lot of these Egyptian and Hindu named places are. Next up, Anthony Cole says, what the heck is Thunderclap? Is that the name of the magazine? Most of you guys should know by now, I have a magazine coming out actually next week. And the name of the magazine is Beyond Science. It's not Thunderclap. Thunderclap is actually the social media tool that we're utilizing to gain a lot of attention for this initial magazine launch. So what that does is, if you want to support the magazine, you sign up for Thunderclap, and on the magazine launch day, it makes an announcement through your social media. Of course, you don't have to do that if it doesn't make you feel completely comfortable, but a lot of people have chosen to help that way. And if you want to, the link for the Thunderclap campaign is in my description box below. No One Never Sleeps says, as long as I get the ray gun, I'll be fine. Did you guys ever think about this? Let's say the zombie apocalypse is happening. What is your weapon of choice? By now, we all know we either have to cut off their head or shoot them in the head. At the same time, you don't want them to bite you. So I think my weapon of choice would be a tank. How come in no zombie movie ever do you see somebody just driving a tank and just like running over all the zombies? I mean, zombies are dumb. They're not gonna crawl onto the tank and open up a hatch. They don't know how to do that. And they can't bite through reinforced metal. So if we're just talking about the normal, kind of slow, non-World War Z zombies, I would just get into a tank and run all of them down. Next up, Oliver Rodriguez says, what if Usain Bolt and Michael Phelps got infected? We couldn't go land or water. That's a pretty funny comment, but how did they get infected? Who outran? Which zombie outran Usain Bolt? But yeah, that would suck. Can you imagine? You see a zombie, you're like, I can outrun that zombie. Then it turns out to be the zombie of Usain Bolt, and it moves just as fast. So I guess you can only hope that you meet the zombie of Usain Bolt in water, and you meet the zombie of Michael Phelps on land. Next up, Onaga76 says, does anybody know how much this magazine is going to cost? Okay, again, I know there has been a lot of questions about this magazine. So as I mentioned about the magazine, there's a team of writers and researchers, about a dozen people, and of course they've got to live, they've got to eat. The magazine at this point is going to be priced at $3.99 per month. And of course, we're going to give you guys a 30-day free trial, so if you like it, please subscribe. If you don't like it, no worries. Next up, Garrick Tate says, I can't wait for the new magazine to come out. Is there any way I can be involved or contribute? I have gotten a lot of emails about people wanting to join the research team or the writing team. I think we have everyone we need for doing that. But what will really help will be ideas or topics that you guys think are really interesting that we can research further. So either in the comments below of this video or any of the social media platforms, send your ideas in. We need a lot of ideas for this magazine. And again, guys, we have so much interest and support for this project we're doing. Everybody working on this magazine is so excited to do this right, and really hope that you will enjoy the final product. And as always, thank you all so much for watching the videos and submitting the comments. And because I get so many comments on these videos, it's really impossible for me to read through all of them. I really try to read through as many as I can, but I love making these videos. So guys, keep sending the comments in, and thank you guys so much for watching. See you later.